YouTube, Dawson Rider here with a review of the armored Super Mega Silver Ranger figure from Power Rangers Super Megaforce. So if you couldn't tell, this is a continuation of the Armored Might line, which is a larger scale, more muscular figure that has some form of armor or whatnot to switch with others. Anyway, we'll take a very quick look at the packaging to start, so sorry Orion, you're going to have to be set aside for a second. The packaging is pretty straightforward. You got a picture of the Silver Ranger here. It shows how the armor is going to work. That's obviously where the figure was. Shot of the Silver Ranger in his gold mode, and then another shot of the Silver Ranger there. And on the back it shows how the armor works, that you can put it in this other mode as well. And then it shows other things in the line, showing the Super Mega Red, White Ranger, and then him, and then it's just an advertisement for the keys. So nothing really too spectacular. So obviously here you get this figure on his own, and he is in his regular Silver Ranger form before the armor is on him. He comes with a bunch of different accessories, which are basically the armor pieces. This is the armor chest piece. You got the armor back piece, which this piece actually comes off quite frequently. His shoulder pads. And then you have the Super Mega Spear. This is in the mode he would have it right now when he's in a regular Ranger state. It's just pretty much this gold plastic. There's not really too much to it. And then you have it in its blaster mode. The back sort of misrepresents what it's going to look like. And then you have the alternative swap out for when he transforms into gold mode. And then, like with most of them, you do get some swappable hands. Right now we just got some holding weapon ones. And then you just have some sort of generic posed fists. Anyway, taking a look at him, he is the same base mold as the previous ones in terms of articulation, which is actually really well done. You got a nice hinge joint here, you get a quality range of movement all around, you got a swivel right here, single elbow joint, you can swivel at his fists, you got articulation at both the chest and the waist, you have a movable helmet, you have a solid head articulation as well, you can go around 360 and all that good stuff. You got a nice joint here on his leg. It's only slightly hindered by this little skirt type piece right here. Some great all around motion though. Other than that, you can swivel as well. You got your single knee joint. His foot here is on a little hinge so you can move it back and forth. So pretty well articulated. It's definitely a step up from the 5-inch line in terms of articulation. And look-wise, honestly, I think he actually looks better than the Super Mega Silver Ranger figure. We'll take a quick pan of him on his own before we armor him up. And like I said, he's pretty solid looking. I actually really like these figures. I know a lot of people hate the muscular PR figures, but since we actually have some that aren't muscular, I don't mind having figures like this in the line, because it's almost a stylized version and pretty much a staple from Power Rangers toys at this point. And I think he looks pretty good. He doesn't have the same proportion issues as Red did when it comes to his head to body ratio. So I honestly think he looks pretty solid. Sorry if it just seemingly got a little bit orange in here. My only real problem with the figure pretty much overall is the way his helmet thing moves, so you can transform from various modes. It's pretty loose, so you can get some really strange looking bits, but that's honestly really easily overlooked for overall a pretty nice figure. I'm actually a pretty big fan of this line. Now, one more thing before we armor him up. Just a quick comparison. Unfortunately, I don't have his collar because he's wearing a different armor, but here he is with Super Mega Red, and as you can see, even without the collar, Super Mega Red had a really strange proportion issue with his head being too tiny, and Silver definitely fixed that, so I think he's definitely the best looking Super Mega figure we got out of this line so far. So actually, I keep saying we're going to armor him up, but before we do that, I'm going to do this portion to get it out of the way. You can also, as you saw in the back, put him into a sort of anchor mode, or put the armor in a sort of anchor mode. So to do that, you just take these, and I think, let me double check. I'm just double checking I have it going the right way. Yep, okay. I didn't want to make an idiot of myself, which I usually do. But so you just flip those up, and then you take the shoulder pads, and you'll see that there is these little sort of grooves on them, which are supposed to attach here. They don't stay terribly well, but they do stay, so you just attach them there. I kind of wish they had a bit more of a secure mechanism that's a little bit easier to work with, because it'll stay and then all of a sudden you'll breathe and it'll pop right off. And then just take this piece here, and there's little pegs, and attach it like that, and then the whole head of it can fall off. That's always fun. Let's fix that. It's actually pretty loose. Once you take this off, I actually have a hard time getting it to go back on properly from switching it out. And actually, you're going to want to switch off the head. I didn't even think about that. I always forget to switch it off. I actually always forget that he actually even has 2 different anchor heads for this. But anyhow, once you get it on there, you're going to just want to sort of place it in there into these 2 little grooves. Yeah, that's good enough. You can sort of get it a little bit better, I suppose. A little bit less stuck there, and then you can actually adjust this. Okay, so then there's that, and then what you're going to want to do is you take this piece here, and you have him sort of hold it in his hand facing inwards. So, like this. If I can get him, there we go. So he kind of holds it like this, and then you sort of just put it together as if it were already the closed armor. Alright, so I had to sort of cut away because it kept falling apart, and that's essentially what you get as a giant anchor thing, and it's kind of hard to get him to actually stand with it. It's sort of neat that you're able to do something different besides the armor. They sort of had that before, but honestly I find it to be wholly unnecessary and actually kind of annoying to deal with, both in trying to get him to stand and trying to hold it together, particularly the shoulder pieces. Who knows, maybe it's just mine, but they like refuse to stay on, so I'm just really not a fan of this mode. Alright, now we'll go ahead and just disassemble this and do what we're actually waiting for, which is the armor. Alright, so now it is actually armor time, which is a hell of a lot more simple than the other one. You just take the front and back pieces, and you're going to put them on side to side after you take his collar off. I always forget his collar, so now it looks so strange without it. But you just take those 2, and you're going to snap them on here, and this will stay. You're just going to make sure these are at the side. And then you take his shoulder pieces right here, and you just snap them on. You can see there's sort of little indents that could sort of correspond to these almost pegs, and you just slide them right over. It's very, very easy. And what's nice about this one is he doesn't have any weird like cuff pieces to put on him anywhere, which are some of the more annoying parts of like the Green Ranger ones and whatnot. So just snap these over on the side. Damn it. I'm like, it's super easy unless you're Dawson, in case everything's hard. In which everything's hard. I can't even say everything's difficult without messing up. Alright, so we finally got it on there. And then the last thing you really do is just fold this down to create that helmet. And there you have it in gold mode. You know, unless I'm completely wrong, at this point when this review is being recorded, this mode is not debuted in the show. So I don't know what its name is or if we've heard the name. I'll probably get comments on this video years later saying, God, you're an idiot, it's called whatever mode. Unless they just keep gold mode. But so right now we don't know it, so I'm just going to call it gold mode. And it looks pretty cool. I've honestly always really liked this mode. It looks really cool. As you can see, he's got the faces of all the previous 6 Rangers on there. Let's just go ahead and take a zoom in. You can see all of them there. On the shoulder you got Robo Knight, Mercury Ranger, Gold Ranger. On the chest here you got Drago Ranger, MMPR Green, Quantum Ranger, Gold. I like how Gold Samurai and Green Samurai are right next to each other. Solaris Knight, Ranger Gold, Omega Ranger right there, and then you got Lunar Wolf, you got Silver Space Ranger, White Ranger, and Ranger Silver. So it's honestly pretty cool looking, and they look really good. Can I get any further zoomed? Yeah, they look really nice. And overall, the armor looks really nice on him. As I mentioned a little bit ago, a lot of people aren't huge fans of the more muscular PR figures, and with this armor it actually hides it pretty well. So if you're not a fan of the like muscular PR figure look, but you like gold mode a lot and you like the Silver Ranger, then this one actually hides it pretty well and makes a pretty nice sort of larger scale gold mode figure, which is really nice. It's actually probably one of my more favorite ones. I think it looks pretty cool. I'm just gonna kind of adjust him here so he can do his pretty spin. And as before, you can also do any armor combination you can want. You can put this on any of the other previous arm change figures. that's about it just for the small amount of ones I was showing. So I know that there is actually a Robo Knight combination that actually, when you swap his with Robo Knight, it looks really cool, but I can't really get to mine right now. But you get the idea, it's really fun. But overall, I do recommend this figure. I think it's a very nice looking gold mode figure, it makes a good display piece, and like always, it has tons of articulation. So if you're a fan of this mold or this Ranger in any form, I can definitely recommend picking this up. I honestly just really like this figure. And I'm a pretty big fan of the line in general. But anyway, that's about it. Until next time, make sure you check out the Crazy Podcast at writersrangersrambles.com. And don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. Until next time, it's Dawson Rider, signing out.